Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I wanna show you a new about Armenia and Azerbaijan crisis video and request subscribe to get new update video daily and let's go. Title, Azerbaijan/Armenia, scores of regular people executed by aimless utilization of weapons in clash over Nagorno-Karabakh. Field specialists visited many strike locales in Azerbaijan and Armenia. Evidence invalidates the two sides' dissents. They dispatched unpredictable strikes, incorporating with bunch weapons. Other weapons utilized incorporate ballistic rockets and volleys of famously loose rockets and ordnance. The Armenian and Azerbaijani powers rehashed utilization of famously off-base and unpredictable weapons including bunch weapons and touchy weapons with wide zone impacts in populated non-military personnel zones, abused worldwide compassionate law and killed scores of regular people. Harmed hundreds and pulverized homes and key foundation in the new clash, Amnesty International said today. The association's new report, In the Line of Fire, Civilian Setbacks from Unlawful Strikes in the Armenian-Azerbaijani Clash over Nagorno-Karabakh, depends on an on-the-ground examination on the two sides and subtleties. 18 strikes by Armenian and Azerbaijani powers which unlawfully slaughtered regular people. Taking all things together, at any rate 146 regular folks, including numerous kids and more seasoned individuals, kicked the bucket in the 44-day struggle between late September and early November 2020. Armenian powers utilized wrong ballistic rockets, unguided different dispatch rocket frameworks, MLRS, and big guns. Azerbaijani powers additionally utilized unguided big guns and MLRS. Experts on the two sides have denied dispatching aimless negative marks against non-military personnel regions and utilizing bunch weapons regardless of clear proof that the two of them have done as such. By utilizing these uncertain and dangerous weapons in the region of regular citizen zones, Armenian and Azerbaijani powers abused the laws of war and indicated negligence for human existence, said Marie Struthers, Amnesty International's director for Eastern Europe and Central Asia. By utilizing these uncertain and dangerous weapons in the region of regular citizen zones, Armenian and Azerbaijani powers abused the laws of war and indicated negligence for human existence. Marie Struthers, Amnesty International's director for Eastern Europe and Central Asia. Regular folks were slaughtered, families were destroyed and incalculable homes were devastated on the grounds that all gatherings to the contention utilized famously uncertain weapons against towns and urban communities. Non-military personnel losses would more likely than not have been a lot higher were it not for the way that numerous individuals had either fled influenced regions or taken asylum in cellars when the contention began. Following the November 10 three-sided understanding closure the contention, Amnesty International visited many strike destinations in Azerbaijan and Armenia in late November and early December 2020. The association met 79 survivors, witnesses, and family members of regular citizens murdered and harmed in the strikes, notwithstanding neighborhood non-military personnel and military specialists, NGO laborers, and writers. Absolution International's Crisis Response Group investigated sections of weapons utilized in the assaults and analyzed recordings, photos, and satellite pictures taken during the contention. Our exploration uncovered an example of unpredictable and lopsided strikes by the two sides that executed and hurt regular citizens and harmed non-military personnel objects. Assaults were consistently done on regular citizen neighborhoods a long way from cutting edges, and where there frequently didn't give off an impression of being any military focuses in the region, said Marie Struthers. Assaults by Armenian powers. Absolution International reported 8 strikes did by Armenian powers on towns in Azerbaijan which slaughtered an aggregate of 72 regular folks. In the city of Ganja on October 17, 21 regular folks were executed and in excess of 50 harmed when a SCUDB ballistic rocket hit the Mukhtar Hajiyev area. Sudaba Asgarava's girl Nigar was killed in the strike, a day prior to her 15th birthday celebration. She was my lone youngster. She was all I had, Sudaba disclosed to Amnesty International. Ramiz Garamanov, 64, revealed to Amnesty International that in a similar strike his little girl Katira, 34, was murdered alongside her child Orhan, 11, and 2 little girls Maryam, 6, and Layman, 18. In the repercussions of the impact, Ramiz stated, I peered down and when I saw that the house had been totally annihilated, I promptly realized that they had all kicked the bucket since no one might have endured such pulverization. I was unable to discover the groups of my grandkids. Portions of their bodies were not found until some other time, in the following road, and a few sections were not found by any stretch of the imagination. I peered down and when I saw that the house had been totally obliterated, I quickly realized that they had all kicked the bucket since no one might have endured such pulverization. I was unable to discover the assemblages of my grandkids. Portions of their bodies were not found until some other time, in the following road, and a few sections were not found by any stretch of the imagination. Rais Garmanov, 64, who lost different relatives in a strike on Ganja. On October 27, 5 individuals were slaughtered and 14 harmed when Armenian powers dispatched a bunch bomb strike on the town of Karayuzufli, making broad harm homes. One of those killed was 7-year-old Isu Iskandarli, who was playing on a swing in her nursery at that point. Armenian powers additionally terminated a few enormous type rockets into the city of Barda on October 28, in excess of 20 kilometers from the forefront. 3 rockets arrived in the downtown area, 2 of them almost to emergency clinics. The third, a Russian-made 9M55 Smerch rocket containing 72 9N235 group submunitions, arrived in a bustling traffic circle, executing 21 regular citizens. On September 27, the day the contention started, Armenian powers dispatched a cannon strike in Gash Alti, close to Naft Alan, killing 5 individuals from the Gurbanov family and mostly devastating their home. Bakhtiar Gurbanov, who lost his folks, alongside his siblings' significant other, his nephew and niece, disclosed to Amnesty International, "Our family was demolished. We had begun to redesign the house before the war, presently we can't tolerate being here any longer." Assaults by Azerbaijani powers. Absolution International recorded 9 strikes did by Azerbaijani powers on towns in Nagorno-Karabakh and 1 in Armenia, murdering 11 regular citizens. As per neighborhood accepted specialists, in any event 52 Armenian regular citizens were executed in the contention. The district's primary city Stepanakert went under continuous assault, now and again a few times in a solitary day. A portion of the strikes were completed utilizing naturally aimless weapons, for example, 122 mm Grad rockets and universally restricted group weapons. A progression of strikes on October 4 slaughtered 4 regular citizens and harmed 12 more. Naver Lalael revealed to Amnesty International how his kid father Arkady was slaughtered in this assault. "Since the war began, my folks had been remaining in the haven in the storm cellar of the structure with different occupants and came up to the loft consistently to utilize the washroom and the kitchen. Early that day my dad came higher up and was remaining on the gallery when a rocket detonated in the nursery. He was murdered on the spot and a significant part of the condo was obliterated. A young lady with scholarly and actual inabilities was harmed and damaged by a similar strike. A free weapons master audited ammo pieces Amnesty International saw at the site and recognized them as likely pieces of an extra ballistic rocket, an Israeli weapon known to have been offered to Azerbaijan. A few different areas around the city were struck the exact day, including almost a school that was not, at this point in meeting and close to the workplace of the International Committee of the Red Cross. In different strikes on Stepanakert, it created the impression that Azerbaijani powers intentionally focused on basic framework, including the emergency services, an enormous compound on the city's eastern edge. On October 2 at around 2 p.m. a rocket strike hit the nearby vehicle Leave, mortally injuring one of the rescuers, 25-year-old Hovayan Zagajanian, harming 10 of his partners and truly harming the shelter that houses crisis vehicles. "Victoria was our darling. She is gone. My son currently still awakens saying that there are planes in the sky besieging." Anahit Gevorgian, whose 8-year-old little girl was murdered and 2-year-old child harmed in a strike on Martuni. In Martuni, on September 27, 12 strikes over the course of about 4 minutes included one that mortally injured an 8-year-old young lady, Victoria Gevorgian, and left her 2-year-old sibling Artsvik seriously harmed and damaged. "Victoria was our darling. She is gone. My son presently still awakens saying that there are planes in the sky besieging," their mom Anahit Gevorgian disclosed to Amnesty International. David Katran, an occupant of Martakert, disclosed to Amnesty International how both of his folks and his auntie, all in their 60s, were executed in a moment when a Grad rocket struck the passage of a structure in the family's leafy foods shop on September 30. The rocket was as yet held up in the structure's means when Amnesty International visited in mid-December. The Armenian and Azerbaijani specialists should dispatch prompt, unbiased examinations concerning their powers' persevering and regularly careless utilization of weighty dangerous weapons in populated non-military personnel regions. The Armenian and Azerbaijani specialists should dispatch quick, unbiased examinations concerning their powers' tireless and regularly foolish utilization of substantial hazardous weapons in populated non-military personnel regions. As the Armenian and Azerbaijani pioneers start to work out security plans, it's essential that those liable for these infringements are quickly considered answerable and that the casualties get reparations, said Marie Struthers.